Um, so I can quickly take you through Jar of Life again. Or if you want it to be a question and answer, maybe you have questions. Um, you have a question and answer. Let me know. So let's take a vote. You want a teaching, you want a Q&A. And you'll be free to ask any question at all. So let me see on the chat box. What do you want? Which one do you prefer? Let's see. Do you want a Q&A today, or you want Q&A? Nene said Q&A. Nene said Q&A. Okay, who else is saying something? Let me be sure. Q&A. Okay. Looks like people who meet me today, they have questions. Okay, so if you, two people, where are the other people? Please, let's all respond on time, so that we can, quickly, I need like two, okay, either is fine. So Udwak is standing on the fence. Esther is saying teaching. We have two people for Q&A. Who would be the tiebreaker? Teaching. Ah, there's a tie now. There's a tie. Oh, Q&A, two Q&As, two teaching. I've been teaching all year actually. All right. But I'm okay, whichever one. I'm prepared for both actually. Yeah. So who else? One more person will determine what we do. We have a tie, and we have one person standing on the fence. We are 13 on the call. Where is everybody? You know those people that attend meeting like spirit. They will attend meeting. They never talk. They never respond. Okay. Where is? Okay. Can you guys put on your cameras? Let me even be sure that I have people. Okay, family would just coming in. Okay, family would. So the question is, do you want to ask me questions and do we make this a question and answer session? Is our final session for the year, or do you want a teaching? So two people have chosen Q&A. Two people have chosen teachings. Okay. Um, any other person who differ? Let me just be sure. Go ahead with teaching. Jesus Christ. You guys are not even nice. Q&A. Okay, Deborah is saying Q&A. I know Deborah will vote for Q&A. Q&A. Q&A people are winning. Oh. Q&A people are winning. uh, okay. Here is what we're going to do. How many of you understand the jar of life in FSC? You understand it fully? Yes or no? The jar of life is a tool that we taught teach in FSC. Um, if you understand it fully, okay. Ijoma does not. No, not fully, sir. Yes. No. Yes. Nene. Who else? Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'll just quickly run through it in 15 minutes, then I'll take Q&A so that we can manage both sides. All right. Admin, where are your people? Did you inform them about this meeting at all? Or you did not? So I'm just going to put up a slide on Jar of Life, and then we can take it up from there. Okay. Just give me a moment. Okay, good. Did you announce in the main group that the session is on? Okay, good. So I'm here. So Jar of Life basically is the Jar of Life is a tool that basically is used for analyzing. So if you understand tree of life, jar of life is another tool in family system engineering that you can use to dimension what people are going through, especially when you want couples to better understand what they're dealing with. So if you look at the jar of life on the screen, it has three stages: the upbringing, your environment, and your experience. So this is the jar of a couple rather, right? What jar of life helps us do is to understand and appreciate what people have been through that may be responsible for their present behavior. That what we do oftentimes is we trade blames, right? This person, Puff Daddy, how can he do that? He's a useless man. Blah, 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 blah. That's what we do. Two-Face, Two Baba, people were happy. That, see Queen, what's that her name? Annie has been proven right. If you have read my article to it, you don't say that. What makes you think Annie is even happy where she is? You know, the big question is, what is Two-Face looking for? The guy is searching for something that is missing. He's just using women, drug, and whatever to numb that pain that we need to help him heal from. Right? And so you can look at him and judge him, but Jar of Life helps us uncover what has gone wrong, because it takes a look into every system program that has been installed in you from the time you were a child till your adulthood. So if you look at this, these are the jar of life of two people, a couple. The wife has reported the husband that the husband is unstable, is dishonest, and that it tells lies a lot. Right, those were the accusations. Now, like I have said here, that professionals ask the question why. Amateurs ask the question what. So amateurs are focused on what they are doing. He did this, he cheated, she cheated, Professionals are looking at why, because why takes you to the root cause, how shows you the pattern. Now, without understanding why, empathy will be thrown out of the window and it will be replaced with judgment. And so, if you look at this, upbringing, this is what both of them have been through. The guy was a military man's son, but the father was like the chaplain of the military system, or lay reader, whatever they call them. So from the childhood, religion was installed into him, right? And then if you look at it, it would say that his father never gives him 2 meats unless he comes first in class. So while the man would think that he's rewarding him, what was happening there was conditional love was being installed. But the same man who teaches in church drinks beer at home, so hypocrisy was being installed. The man used to get angry a lot, so anger. This boy was molested by the housemaid at the age of 8. So secrecy, all these things were installed. But look at the foundation of his wife. She grew up in a home where her dad was Nigeria's ambassador to Netherlands or something like that. No, not Netherlands. He was Nigeria's ambassador to Denmark, right? So grew up in the midst of love. So love was installed. She was free to live her life. Freedom was installed. They were affluent. So they had always been going abroad for summer, even from Nigeria. So affluent trips across the world. She had amazing friendship. All these things were installed in her. So technically, from foundational issues, you can see that they are from two different foundations, two different backgrounds. Now, if they had come to you and you have done this analysis before marriage, maybe they would have had enough reason not to quickly go into marriage, right? But look at the environment they grew up in. This guy grew up in a barracks, so mediocrity. In the barracks, everybody lies about everything in the way he grew up. You have to lie to impress a girl. You have to lie that your father is the owner of the airport. So lies, secrets, there was sexual liberty, lack of choice. His father was treated badly. They consistently moved him, so all these things were installed. But look at the environment the lady grew up in. You know, she was living in Los Angeles at the time, holiday to Disney, freedom to be herself, honesty from parents, love by neighbors, and blah, 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 blah. Now, look at their significant emotional experience. For the guy, even though he got born again, he became a leader, he became a father, he became transformational, but he also noticed in church that his senior pastor was a hypocrite and that many of them were pretending. So religious hypocrisy was reinforced. He could see his own imperfection. He was struggling. At some point, he became depressed. He had a near-death experience. He lost some mentors. He's married. Then he started doing healing. But look at the lady. The lady got saved, became a mother, appointed as executive director in the bank, best graduating student in her first degree, wedding date, admission into Yale, and graduation from Harvard. Those were significant emotional experience. Now, let me ask you a question, and I need someone to volunteer to answer. Who do you blame for this guy's misbehavior? For they say he doesn't speak the truth. Is his behavior expected behavior, or is his behavior outrightly a bad behavior? Now, on the wife's part, do you think we should clap for her for living a good life, for living a right life, or she's pretending not to know that it was because she was fortunate to have come from a good family is why she has those behavior? I need someone to analyze this for me. Who wants to go? Oh, Kinsley is in the building. Okay, Kinsley, good to have you.
Good day, sir.
Yes, Oga Kinsley, oh yeah, shoot.
I was going to say that I wouldn't say there is good or bad there. I would say they are both creatures of conditioning. They're
Good.
just conditioned um, differently.
Mhm.
One person had one upbringing, environment, experiences different from some other person that has a different upbringing, environment is and so you wouldn't want to say, oh, this is the one that is good, this is the one that is bad. They are both products of their conditioning. And I would always say that conditioning is conditioning is stronger than your declarations. Your declarations are things that you would speak or things that you profess, but conditioning that sometimes conditioning actually builds your conviction without your permission. Okay,
Mm.
so they turn out the way they are because that was the all the three factors have come together to make them that. So if they want to be something different, they have to quote and unquote re-engineer again, and that's how I would put it.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Who else wants to say something? Thank you, Kinsley. I think you've put it perfectly. Anybody want to weigh in? Anyone else? Okay. You see, I'm afraid that all of you, I can't see your faces, right? But Kinsley has put it perfectly well. What we do in the world is to look at this guy and label him. Imagine if you could do an engineering analysis for Two-Face and his latest bride. You may not find something that is totally far from here, right? And so we are too judgmental of people whose foundation we don't even understand. Look at those boys who are killing people, the Boko Haram and the rest of them. Those boys are just collateral damage for a society that failed them. And that's why our work is cut out. Because you should ask yourself a question: why would anybody offer your child, your biological child, a gun to come and live in Sambisa forest, and your child will feel excited to follow them? Why would your child not feel excited to go to Sambisa forest? Because your child that is sleeping inside AC will now go and be sleeping inside a bush. Why was it appealing to those other children? Because hunger, right? So it becomes very important for us to normalize why, why. This lady would think that she's a good person. But the truth is, she's not a good person, right? From the technical point of view of taking decision to be good. The environment was created for her to be good, and her parents took responsibility. This guy is not a bad human being. It's just that the environment created a beast. So, however, they both still need to take responsibilities. He needs to now say, okay, I have grown. You cannot now say, oh, this is who I am. Oh, you now accept. No. You now need to take responsibilities. So basically, that's what the jar of life is all about. So you are simply asking, what building materials was used to construct this person? That's what you're checking out. And then you are looking at all these things to now say, based on this, what expected behavior what behavior should we expect? So expected behavior for this guy is for him to be secretive, is for him to be lying. The expected behavior for this woman is for her to be loyal and faithful. Right. So if you have the compass, right, you have an entire script in there, the Jar of Life coaching script to help your clients identify what was installed in their system across 3 critical stages, upbringing, environment, and their experiences, so that they can trace their patterns and rewire for healing process. Right. So this is like the coach to client thing. Say, before we try to fix what's wrong in the present, we must understand what was installed in you during your formative years. Think of yourself as a house. As a house, your habits, reaction, and beliefs are made of materials installed at different points in life. We're going to explore what those materials are, not to blame, but to understand, because you cannot eat what you don't understand, and you cannot install new system until we first uninstall the wrong ones. So basically, your coaching script with your clients is to now say, okay, you draw the jars and you start with upbringing. Basically, you are discovering foundational beliefs, emotional programs, and values formed during the early years. What were the unspoken rules in your home growing up? Because if you ask some of them to feel it, they may not know it. So you need to prompt them with questions. So they say, don't cry, don't talk back, always obey, right? So there's a word that can describe these 3, for example. Now, how was love expressed in your home? Was it conditional or unconditional? Say, oh, it's conditional. So conditional love was installed. What did your parents or guardians say about emotions like anger, sadness, or fear? What did your caregivers treat? How did they treat each other? Because you pick your values from what you see people do. What were the roles of religion, gender, success, and failure in your family? Right? So you might want to ask, it seems like perfectionism may have been installed here. So examples of possible installation: performance-based love, suppressed emotion, patriarchy or gender bias, fear of failure, religious legalism, lack of affection. So you have to find words to describe what your client is saying to you, right? Those installations are there. Then you take them to their environment. They are trying to discover the external influence beyond the home, such as school, neighborhood, culture, media, society, and their role in shaping this behavior. So what kind of neighborhood or community did you grow up in? You want to ask that question, let them describe it. Was it safe, violent, competitive, right? So if it's not safe, if it's violent, so toxicity is involved. Who outside your home influenced your view of yourself the most? Is it teachers, pastors, or friends? What message did your culture or school send about your gender, tribe, or dreams? What kind of conversations were normal? So prompting questions have been put in there for you. So example of possible installation in there is comparison, competition, classism or tribal bias, toxic masculinity or femininity, invincibility or bullying, shame around expression, don't speak out mindset, distrust and authority. Then step 3, significant emotional experience. The question you can ask, can you recall moments where you felt emotionally wounded or deeply changed? You hear them out as they say it, so maybe abuse is there, or maybe divorce is there, or maybe some trauma, or maybe domestic violence. Was there ever a time where you felt abandoned, rejected, or unsafe? As they talk about it, so abandonment can be installed. Have you ever experienced betrayal, heartbreak, or abuse, like verbal, sexual, physical, emotional? You put that there. What a memory you visit often, even if you try to suppress it. So you know that, like, all those things are in the compass. See my copy. I'm bringing my copy to Nigeria. I got it from Amazon. All right. So You have possibilities: abandonment, wound, betrayal, trauma, shame, identity, emotional numbness, control issues. Now, it doesn't have to be negative. For some people, it's all positive and it's okay, right? And so when you do all of this, you now close the session by saying, from what you've shared, we can now see that many of your current behaviors are not who you are, they are installations. The next step is to compassionately decide what needs to be uninstalled and what new programs we need to install. And we'll do this together, one layer at a time, right? And so basically, you can ask them as you close with them, what is one installation that surprised you today, right? And what's something you are ready to let go of now that you see where it came from? Who would you be without this installation? Now, for their spouses, because their spouse can now see the problem, you can now ask the spouse, how do you feel about your spouse? Say, now I understand why he acts the way he does. Things have been bad. I'm willing to support them to get help. So the next step will now be for you to create a visual jar of life map with a client, which you've done. Then highlight installation under. So you now say, okay, we need to begin to uninstall this, or we need to begin to install that. And when you are uninstalling what has been installed, there are tools you can use. One of them is reframing. Reframing is part of what you have in the compacts. You didn't teach that in class, except for the recent set. So it's part of what you have in compass. Affirmation, inner child healing. I think some of you know about inner child healing. It's part of what you use. Beliefs rewiring, which is basically how to change beliefs. Beliefs change. All of them are in the compass. And behavioral replacement strategies. There is scanning. There are quite a number of, so that is how you get your clients to heal. Yes. So basically, that's just a summary. Like I said, I'll just quickly run through the the jar of life, so that I can take questions. So it's now question time. If you have any question for me across everything I've taught around the year on this mentoring platform, or something new that you are not clear about in your practice, please, the floor is now open to ask that question. You can unmute yourself to ask your question. Someone says, please expatiate on attachment styles, and are there particular personalities types likely to exhibit certain attachment styles? Right? Basically, attachment style is feeding into your upbringing, your experience growing up, which can affect your behavior in the present, right? And so you have various types of attachment style, and there's an assessment that you can use to figure out your attachment style. There are about 4 of them, and then those 4 come with various outcomes, as it were. Now, I will not categorically say that your personality style can influence your attachment style. No. Attachment style has to do with your experience with your parents and in your upbringing. Now, it can influence your pseudo personality, right? It can actually alter a bit of your personality. So if you are a victim of abuse, it can move you from an extrovert into becoming an introvert, right? But they are not mutually exclusive, as it were. Now, what you need to understand is the attachment style result is independent. And once you have that independent result, the recommendation on what to do and how to handle the person is also there, right? And so they're not the same. You need to focus on that outcome as an individual assessment, because it has everything to do with how you were raised and your experience in your childhood. Yeah, so that's that. What is the difference between tree of life and jar of life? So tree of life, we use it when your client, to help your client become absolutely honest about what they may have eaten if you have just asked them to share their lives. So it's like guiding your client to totally express their life so that you can figure out the trauma points and you can plan their healing intervention. So we call it a tool that you use to bypass conscious resistance. Fantastic. That is it. You are bypassing conscious resistance. So if you come to me right now and say, Praise, tell us about your past, your life growing up, I'll tell you what I can tell you. Not because I want to hide any information, but if you go using the tree of life, I'm likely going to tell you more. And then you can see where my trauma points are. Right. So that's tree of life for you. Now, the jar of life, tree of life also is used to test your happiness index, right? For those of you who have done, I think I've taught that in one of this, which we didn't teach in class, but it's also in the compass. I recommend that everybody gets the compass, right? It helps you know your happiness index because you place it over 80 eventually, and you know exactly where you fall into. Then, having said that, jar of life is what I just taught you right now. Jar of life also helps you understand trauma point, but it literally, it's like the mind of a person laid bare. That's jar of life for you. Jar of life helps you understand why you act the way you do, the programs that are running in you, unconscious program that is responsible for your outcome, with a view to helping people better understand that it's not because you are wicked, it's because you have programs that run inside of you. So it helps couples move from judgment to empathy and ultimately helps them support their partner in their recovery process. So that's it. Yeah. So that's it. Please, if you want to ask your question physically, unmute yourself and ask, please. Who wants to ask a question? Where are all these people that say they have questions? They have questions. We should do Q&A. You have the opportunity now. Take it before it's too late.
There are questions in the chat box, sir.
I've answered almost all the questions in the chat. Okay, it's attachment
New
style
questions, sir.
assessment in the compass book. No, attachment style assessment is not in the compass book because it's not our intellectual property. Right? We will only put on the compass what is our intellectual property. Attachment style is a theory by some other person, so we can't. That would be plagiarism. But everything on FAIRSEC, tools to use, scripts to use for various things, you have it in here. Yes. Did I miss any question? Okay. Does that mean a primary intimidating Oma personality can exhibit attachment style of a clinging person? Like I think I've responded to that. Please take those assessments differently. Right? Don't project one on the other. You can project personality assessment on love code assessment, right? So if you're an intimidating Oma, I know that primarily you are likely going to prefer acts of service and maybe words, right? If you are creative convertible, I know that words and touch, kind of, right? If you are a dependable truck, I'll most likely know that quality time and maybe gifts and a bit of acts of service. If you are a systematic Ford, I know it's more of gifts and maybe act of service, as it were. Right. So you can project that, but for attachment style, please let it stand on its own. Yeah, we're running a preparation for relationship program, more like preparing individuals to be the right person while waiting for the right person. What do you advise? Now, I believe that you have your curriculum set. The best program are the programs that enable people to become the best version of themselves. So I would assume that you are doing one of the best tools for what you're doing is what's it called? User's manual. In fact, user's manual is your best material for this program that you're running. So ideally, I will expect you to take them through a premarital assessment or marital readiness assessment. I will expect you to take them through attachment style assessment. I will expect you to take them through personality assessment, love code assessment, and then their user's manual is sacrosanct, because with that, they know exactly who they are, they know who they need, they know what they don't need. So user's manual eliminates 60% of people are likely going to waste their time. And then also shows where their will-be partner is likely going to be found. Right? So that's something I would recommend that you put in place, right? So basically, and then I think you can take a cue from what Mommy Mo is doing. Mommy Mo has some fantastic program. I think Dima has something for single people who are planning to get married, but I think that User's Manual is your biggest solution to this thing you're trying to do. Yeah. And let me say this for free. The biggest problem we are having in the world right now is that parenting has failed. So children are not properly brought up anymore. And so that's the biggest problem. It's garbage in, garbage out. Many of us, I'm dealing with a case where the lady is saying that she wants out of the relationship because the guy is not just, the case is very funny, right? So the girl was talking to me this morning that she wants out of the relationship. She was just reaching out to me, and then they've just started dating. Maybe they've dated for maybe 8 months, right? And then she wants out. Said the guy talks to her anyhow. The guy talks her down. And then I ask a simple question. What has been your greatest challenge? He said one day, the guy was comparing her with his younger sister. And then was comparing her with his mom. And then the guy expects her to respect him. He's always saying respect, respect. I said, well, that guy is not ready for a relationship. Right? Are you dating someone, then you expect the person to be respecting you like your younger sister? So you should go and, but again, I had to say both of them should go for counseling. But what I have figured out over time is that people are not properly brought up. People are not properly brought up. Yeah. And that gap, more than anything, is going to hurt a lot of relationships. Because foundations are conclusions. If the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? That's what the Bible says. All right. So maybe our work will be to reparent adults who were not properly brought up. Maybe that's the big task we now need to do going forward. To reparent them. Basic things, people don't know how to talk. They don't know when to talk. They don't know when to keep quiet. Basic things that we took for granted. An adult, see somebody just go on social media, opens his mouth to say rubbish, and then comes back to say, I'm sorry. What were you thinking? What were you thinking for crying out loud? Is it that you cannot introspect as a human? So maybe people are not even human beings anymore. Maybe we're assuming they are human beings. It looks like they are human things, human doing. Somebody will go and lie. Somebody went on social media to lie that somebody raped her. The guy never met her before. He now says she just wanted to catch cruise. How do you? If you even say the content, some of the young people are, the content is about knacking. Somebody knacking somebody else. So you are asking yourself, where are the parents? I'm 47, thereabout, going to be 48 next year. There are things I still can't do because my father is dead, though, he's dead. But there are things J.O.'s voice is like, so you are wondering what exactly is going on. And in their ignorance and stupidity, they are very arrogant about it. They will even be arguing with you. To say what is wrong in... So the world... Let me make you laugh. So apparently my son's school, boys wear bonnet. Is it bonnet? Is that the pronunciation? Hair bonnet. Yeah? Boys wear it to the school. So he also wanted to start wearing it to school. He's in final year in high school. And then my wife said no. So I was having a conversation with him. So he said, Dad, everybody wears it in my school. I said, but you're not everybody. So I said, is it allowed in your school? She said, well, it's not in our handbook, but they don't do any, they are not they don't see it as anything wrong, that they see it as hijab. I honestly thought he was just trying to convince me to wear it, but I told him, whatever your mama said is final. You're not going to do this because of who you are. That the way you dress is the way you are dressed. So when I got off the call with him, I just, out of curiosity, because it will be unfair to him if it's actually correct and I'm wrong, I quickly had to tell myself, Praise, you are old generation. So quickly check. For the life of me, men and brethren, I actually searched to say, can students wear bonnet, may wear bonnet to school? What I found was that school is not against it. That they consider it to be ear protection. I'm telling you. So the boy was right that it's not but I had to go the dimension of his identity to say, David, you're a king. And so I asked him, have you seen you want to be a psychologist, the best psychologist? Have you seen any psychology? If you say psychology with Ebony, he said, I'm not likely going to work with him. I said, exactly. Right? So that everyone is doing this. But I'm asking myself, how can educational institution now accept that Ebony is a norm? It looks like some of us, maybe rapture has taken place. We are just not aware. Because there are singles you are talking to. I mean, Kingsley is laughing. There are singles you are talking to. You are wondering, how are you going to run a home? How? Little things like emotional intelligence, maturity to handle crisis, you lack it. So where are you going to come from? How are you going to handle a woman? How are you going to relate with in-laws? Right? It's all game. They play game. They play game. They know about knacking, sex styles, all those things, the basic things. I'm asking about basic books that some of us read. Why Ask Why by John Mason, An Enemy Called Average. They don't know. So our job may be parenting, for starters, and not even you want to prepare people for marriage, you want to talk to single, you want to prepare. The single you want is garbage in, garbage out. The omelette is as good as the egg. So if the single is damaged, your preparation is useless.
Yes, sir.
That's the truth.
Can I?
Bam.
Yeah, please go ahead. Familyhood, yes.
Orion, yeah. Good afternoon, sir. Apologies, I'm at work. Yeah. To add well, I'm just wanted to make a comment on what you said. We are running a program. We've been doing it for people one-on-one. So I think I gave you an heads up about it. So we have about 17 people ongoing now. And to add to what you just said is that we now realize, especially when we're doing one-on-one and they did Tree of Life, some of them had a lot of issues like no home training, talk, and the way to talk, the way to behave, they don't have it. So out of that program now, we had to now come up with another program to cater for we tagged it mind and behavior like makeover. Like we needed to work on them because some of them were not instructed on the way to basically behave. Like there has been a shortfall of their own bringing, so they don't even have the capacity to be a partner. They are not equipped with the skills to be in a relationship because even if they meet a good person, they are going to mess it up. So I just wanted to add that. So we also created something to also cater for the loopholes we saw when we were working with them. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah. So basically, I think many of us need to do parenting to reparent adopt some of them. Some of them need adoption. I told one of them, I said, don't talk about marriage. Go and look for somebody who is a proper human being. Let them adopt you. Just go there. Go and be sweeping. Tell them, I want to be a child in this. This person is 32. I said, go and be a child. So fetch water, clean the whatever, cook, call them daddy, pass the night sometimes there. Do what children, because there's a gap in your life that there is no therapy that will fix it. You just need to understand how things work, right? Where they will tell you, at that 32, if you say, I want to go out, tell the people you have adopted, I want to go for a party. Let them say no. You really want to go, but learn to obey that no. Or else it's going to be free for all. That's the challenge we're dealing with. Unfortunately, it even looks like the ladies are more developed now than the men. But the men now wants to take leadership. And then you now still have another dimension of ladies who call themselves ultra feminist, who are toxic and bitter. Their
Yeah,
job is
so
bring the man down, destroy him, kill him, whichever one. Right? So humanity is lost. Empathy is lost. So how is marriage going to work? And you know that there's a data in the future that they have already forecasted. And so people are just going to, and that's why our work is really, that's why one of the reasons we are starting cells, we have some cell leaders already. We're starting cells next year, right? Starting cells where cells across different countries where people can go and we can start grooming people and raising them. Because what we're dealing with, it's bad. Parents have resigned themselves. I tell people that my sister worked in a bank, bought a car, brought the car home with a wine for my father to come and bless. My father did not leave his chair. My father looked at her and said, you just started working in the bank 6 months. You shouldn't have been able to save enough money to buy this car. No, my father did not move. My sister had to now explain that she actually took a loan. That's you have staff loan. Right? And my father said to her, if they ask you to take a loan, why should you take a loan to buy a car? Why should you deploy that loan? My father did not come down to bless the car. But these are days where you see a Pella, you see a Jarvis, and you are wondering, where are the parents? Is it that they fell from the sky? Or there is no human person that can say, you guys are underage, go inside. You should not be doing some of the things you are doing. And people are saying they are celebrities. And everybody, some pastors are affiliating with. It's just a madness. It looks like once money, we have replaced mammon with God. Then once you have money, then you have a voice. Even if your voice is useless. Do you see analysis on social media? Do you see analysis? And you are wondering, hey, so the work is much, my people. It's much. And we might need to, maybe what we need to do, I know that in Calabar, they have what they call fattening room. Maybe in the new year, some of us have to now create fattening room where we will groom, we'll put boys and girls on a 6 month or young adults on a 6 month. It will be like a fellowship program. Like they say fellow something. We'll put them on that program and we will thoroughly prepare them and clean them up so that they can learn the basic things. Because you can't, it takes maturity to run a home successfully. If nobody can talk to you anyhow, you just do whatever you want to do. There is no civilization that is built on liberalism. Liberalism can never build anything, can never sustain anything. Conservatism. That's why for those of us in Lagos, and I'm coming in for the session, I'm teaching the 10 gates and the one pillar that got broken and how to rebuild them, right? And you have to understand that when one of those gates are missing, it has a telling effect on the family, right? So I'm going to be breaking down. I'm going to show them psychometries, how to run the psychometries, how to figure out what is going on. Because once the gate is burnt, so if a family, their fish gate is burnt, that's economy system down. So their sheep gate may be alive. Sheep gate is spirituality. So they are spiritually strong, but they are broke. If they are broke, their children are going to get into all kinds of temptation. So when the boy or the girl is now the one feeding the parents, what is the essence of their spirituality? When they are poor. So nobody is going to be forced to ask, what do you do for a living? Right? Because they are poor. They are broke. They can't send them to school. Right? When the gate of, there's a gate called the old gate, which is the gate of history. The gate, Kingsley, I'm arriving on Saturday. Right? The gate of history. So there are 10 gates and there's one pillar. Now that gate of history, old gate, is the gate where, so when the Bible talks about ancient pathway, What has worked at the roots. That's why Catholic tomorrow, you can't convince the Catholic Church to now start dancing popure. Oh, hey, you will go to mass. The mass is boring, ridiculously boring, but the mass serves a purpose. It plugs you into a routine. Confession, that many people will criticize, is actually prevent mental breakdown because you have an outlet where you can confess. That confession is what I've now found out in my research to be the dung gate, right? It's an ancient culture. It's the dung gate, right? And so, recently, I was born an Anglican. I've gone back to Anglican hymns, and I'm realizing that, I ran away from Anglican because I didn't like the hymns. The depth of the lyrics of the hymn. Now, as an adult, I understand. So now I understand why my father loved hymns. I understand it because these guys they got into a level of consecration to write some of the hymns. Look at many of the songs, even those of us who are Christians are dancing to. Now, what does it mean? It's again, we dance. Can you sit back and reflect and say, this song, is it potent enough to prevent me from compromising? Is it strong enough to inspire me? It's just very weak. It's like my friend calls it low sperm count. It can excite, but it can't impregnate anybody. So it's conservatism. What they call tradition, ancient. That's what has held. That's why Japan, China, that's why these nations have been able to rise, because they will not give up some of those cultures. You can ride on it and play around it, but the fundamentals are intact. But these young people don't even understand the fundamental. A nation is bleeding. They are shooting content with it. They are shooting content with lives being destroyed. They are shooting content and they are doing likes and they are doing, so guys, it's not just your child. We have to take responsibility for other children around us and ensure that we raise a generation because Japanese are not following all these nonsense that we are doing. That is liberalism. Go and see how they are training their children in taekwondo, kung fu, chi, all those things. In China, those things have a place. They are teaching them resilience through those things. Everything that teaches us resilience, we've taken it away. Like cassette, when your cassette gets stuck, and now you have to learn patience by force, fruit of the spirit, to remove your cassette so that it doesn't break. We've removed that. Everybody's using Alexa. Even poor people are using Alexa. Everybody's on their phone. Everybody's addicted to their phone. And we are consuming. So you realize even students in secondary school right now, they can't retain simple knowledge. Because as they're in class, their mind is on the next game they're going to play. So our work is cut out. So don't just see yourself as a professional on this call. You must see yourself now as a missionary. God is the one sending us to do this job. That's the way we must see this thing now. Right? So, any other question? Yeah, Kingsley is right. China, no, they play. China is not playing. So don't see your work as, I've got to train, I'm just a professional. No, you are a professional, but you're a missionary. God is sending you to bring healing to people.
Hello,
okay,
sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, the Family System Engineering Certification course textbook, is it the same as this Compass textbook, or is it a different one we need to get?
No, your Family System Engineering is what the textbook you use for your course. Compass is basically coaching script. So you leave class, you have a client, for example, you want to take them through the dream team. What do you say to them? How do you say what you want to say, right? You want to take someone through healing. What do you say to your clients? So all those, so you don't need to be looking around, what do I say, all these things. Those ones are here. Yeah.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, looks like that's any other person with a question. Maybe I can take one more.
Yes, the hard copy is available now.
Yes, the hard copy is available now. Yes.
Oh, okay. Was the soft copy?
Yeah, the hard copy is available. Yes, maybe you can just talk to Omotola. Even though I've not seen the Nigerian print, this is Amazon print and it's very, very good. Yeah, it's full color.
Are you coming with some?
Unfortunately, I didn't. Maybe I will come with one extra. Yeah.
I will block you before I travel. I will block you.
Okay.
Please, I want to buy too. Come with extra.
When is the next FSC program holding? It's February. February is the next stream. If you have never taken FSC, you should. And I mean, so that's that. So I'll just make a few announcements and then we'll close for the year. We have a few programs coming up. So we have goal scoring. Goal scoring is so just pay attention to these programs. Goal scoring is an annual program we do every year. We do it virtually. We've not done a physical session, but they've decided to do a physical session. It's 2 days in class. 2 days. We're going to do it in a space, and then you're going to be working workbook to design. Basically, it's a program where we design the 10 years of people's lives. And a lot of people find it very interesting because it's totally different from everything they've done. So the virtual one is 250,000. The physical one is 500,000 because food has to be taken care of and every other logistics. That's also on the 13th and the 14th of December. Like I said, I'm arriving in Nigeria on Saturday. So you can get yourself on board for any of this. And then next year, I am putting together 2 major retreats for couples, right? So there's one in Mexico, there's one in West Africa. Mexico is March 18 to 22nd. That's 4 nights, 5 days in Mexico. This Mexico one excites me because it has a lot of feel, a whole lot of, unlimited eating, unlimited drinking, whatever you want to do, excellent place. The place is a natural habitat. So if you're in North America, you can register for that. If you can't make that, if you're in West Africa, May, after conference, during Democracy Day, I already have quite a few people registered for that. We're going to Casa de Papa. Casa de Papa is one of the best resorts in Cotonou. It's breathtaking, and so we're going to be there for 3 nights. So you can take advantage of that. Finally, there is January, we're starting, we did a webinar on this. If your focus is on parenting and you don't know how to start your practice, you want all the things I've taught in parenting, all the scripts, all my slides, you want to be using them. We're doing a licensing program in January, right? So you can do the scan code and join. So that's that. And finally, Oyela is going to be released as an app by the end of first quarter next year. It's really, 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 really expensive to do. The version we're doing. So let me explain it to you. The Oyela that is going to come out, it's an massive improvement on what you've done in class. So with that Oyela that is coming out, you will be able to run assessment, all kinds of assessment, marital assessment. So instead of the 4 we taught you in class, it's going to be like 7 assessment, and then it will generate. So instead of writing your report in 3 hours or 2 hours, you'll be able to get your report delivered to you in 1 hour. 1 minute. Sorry, I said 1 hour. 1 minute. So Oyela will come with marital assessment, premarital assessment for people who want to do second marriages. It's going to be there. Parenting assessment is going to be there. Teen assessment is going to be there. Executive wellness assessment will be on that Oyela app. And then employee satisfaction, because we wanted to put something that corporate organizations can use as well. It's going to be on that app as well. Then, apart from all this assessment, it will also come with a marketplace. Marketplace is such that people can come take the assessment and then they want to work with a professional. So you can actually sign up on the app and people will see you and they can bargain with you to work with you and pay you on the app. Now, every time they finish working with you, they'll be able to rate you like Uber. So if you have done well, they can give you a 5, a 4, so that other people will see it. Now, the beautiful thing about it is that when the app is ready, if you are in France and you want to take Oyela assessment in France, what you will be seeing is the French version. If you are in Spain, Spanish version is what you're going to be seeing. If you are in India, Hindi version is what you're going to be seeing, right? So what happens is practitioners are able to buy credits. The credits is, so for example, let's say you want to let's say what you charge your clients for Oyela is like, let's say you charge your clients, let's say $50 for that assessment, right? You'll be able to buy credit for like $9 or $10 if you're a practitioner, and then you can have a unique link that you can use. And the good thing about it is also that we're going to do white labeling, so churches can subscribe to Oyela and brand it in their name, church, Christian Church of God, and use it. So it's like an entire ecosystem, that is bigger than what we've always envisaged. And that's why I'm taking my time and ensuring that it's properly done. Now, there is opportunity for investment. If you are a practitioner, you want to invest, right? Please chat me up. I'll be able to tell you what the investment is like, what the return is like. Let's say you want to invest, you have some money you want to invest in being a part of it. Please kindly reach out to me and I'll tell you what's possible. Yeah, but that's where we are right now. We've already commissioned the company working on it. I'm excited about it. And I can't wait for it to be out. Once is that we'll do a proper launch and then people can start it, can start using it. The good thing is that it can be used across the globe right now, and that's the standardization that I have spent time working on. So let's get ready. It's going to be a good year, a great year. So that's all the announcements I wanted to share with you guys. And so you can do Oyela, you can do investment in Oyela, you can do out of the box parenting licensing, or you can join us for the couples retreat, either in Mexico or in Cotonou, or you can join the masterclasses, the boot camp holding in Lagos. So I hope to see you guys very soon. For those of you in Nigeria, by God's grace, we are together for two weeks before I fly out shortly before Christmas. Yeah, so that's it. I love you all. Have a Merry Christmas and send my Christmas gifts, okay? I've been mentoring and coaching all year. It's that time of the year, so send Christmas present to me. I'm receiving present. Thank you, everyone. I'll see those of you in Lagos shortly, by God's grace, and we'll take it up from there. Yeah, God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, dear. Bye.